Wonder Woman! Wonder Woman is directed by Patty Jenkins and stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Danny Huston, David Thewlis, Elena Añana, and also starring Robin Wright and Connie Nielsen. Before Diana of Themyscira came in and intervened on the Doomsday fight at the end of Batman v Superman, we see her remembering back to her first adventure that she ever took out in the world of man, which was intervening in World War I and another secret godly plan of evil. First off, it is astonishing and also kind of silly to know that Wonder Woman, who is a character that's been around for the same amount of time as both Batman and Superman, has taken until now to get a feature film made about her. Why couldn't we do it back, 20, 30 years ago? We've had multiple Batman and Superman movies. And sure, we've had the 70s TV show. We've had a failed movie attempt from Joss Whedon. He made a script. It kind of went through, but then it just flatlined, basically. And there was some other TV shows that were going to be made, maybe. But this is the first ever film about her. That's just why did it take this long? I went into this movie pretty blind, actually. I don't know the whole backstories about Wonder Woman. I kind of understand a little bit about her comics basis because I read an Empire article, and that's it. And I think that actually benefited for me because this movie, for a good chunk of the first act, it's setting up the character. This is an origin story. Now, origin stories, they can be really hit and miss nowadays. With Wonder Woman, we really haven't seen this kind of story before, of this kind of character that's been sheltered away for all of her life and is just desperate to get out there and actually see the world and fight like her great ancestors. But her mother keeps saying, no, Diana, you can't do that. You have to protect our people. We just have to live on this paradise island. And I mean, yeah, we totally live there. The way that they've shot what they call Themyscira, I don't know where they've shot those scenes, but holy crap, this place looks absolutely gorgeous. This is absolutely a paradise to live in. And I'm kind of thinking, why would Diana ever leave that? I would live there my entire life. That place was gorgeous. But she does, because in her heart, she knows that she can be more, that she can be a true hero. And she's also catapulted into that because she meets Steve Trevor, the first man that she's ever seen. She's lived in a society full of women, the Amazonians, who are amazing warriors. We don't see that much of the Amazonians. They're kind of kept mainly in the first act, but holy shit. Wow. The actual action that these warriors are given is just, it's beautifully choreographed, it's wonderfully filmed, and it's just amazing how all of these actors, no matter if they are Robin Wright or if they're just a bunch of extras in the costumes, they get fully into it. And it's also amazing that in a superhero movie, in the first act, we have our first action sequence just right there. We don't, spend like an hour getting to the first one. No, it's within the first 15 to 20 minutes. Just, there you go. I was like, okay, cool. All right, let's go. We're on board with this. Once it starts, it really doesn't stop. It has a few moments where it kind of backtracks and likes to delve into the characters. And that was beneficial to me because I found these characters incredibly fascinating. Gal Gadot is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wonder Woman. She illuminated every single frame of the film that was devoted to her, which is a lot of it. I just felt so in tune with her character. I felt the energy. I felt the emotion. I just felt the strength and how much Gal Gadot was pouring into this movie. I loved it. Chris Pine as well. It kind of came out of nowhere, really. I mean, I like Chris Pine. I love the Star Trek movies, and I love him as Captain Kirk. But he is so funny, and he's so good, and he's so dramatic, and it works so well with Gal Gadot. Their chemistry is so electric. Their story that they have, where Chris Pine is playing Steve Trevor, who's trying to get back to English headquarters because he's got this notebook that details the new weapons that the German forces are being made under the tutelage of Dr. Poison and General Ludendorff, played by Elena Añana and Danny Huston. There's one scene where they actually have an evil laugh, and it's quite hilarious. And he's trying to get back to the British headquarters, and Wonder Woman just kind of comes along because she's like, okay, well, if there's a war going on, that means that Ares, the god of war, is out there, and I need to kill him because that's what my mom told me. And it's like, Do you need to do that? Like, I liked how this movie didn't just have her doing something and everyone was just okay with it. They constantly questioned, like, do you know what you're saying? You're saying that you want to kill a god with a sword. That was a good dynamic that they shared, is that Steve Trevor is a little bit more cynical. He has fought this war and he has seen the horrors of it, and he knows that his mission is just to do this one thing and it's not to go any further than that. But Wonder Woman is kind of like this naive girl who's just been trapped in this same little space for her entire life, and now she's in the real world. Even when you see them kind of coming together, you still feel that conflict that they have with each other, that push and pull. He's saying we can't do this. She says, no, I have to. And it's just, I really, really enjoyed that. Wonder Woman, to me, wasn't great. It wasn't a great film and it was just a masterpiece. It was really good. There's a lot to love about this movie, but it's not perfect. The tone of Wonder Woman just is perfect. The way that Patty Jenkins has been able to direct this story, to have it be funny in the right moments, dramatic in the right moments, have it, be totally inspiring throughout the entire movie, that is what a great filmmaker does. And it's kind of strange that this director has only made one feature film before Wonder Woman. And that was a great movie, which was 2003's Monster. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's fantastic. I just am amazed that she hasn't made more movies, because she made a really good movie. The writing is solid. The cinematography is really cool. It does have a lot of slow motion sequences, but it's not so gratuitous, because it's more like they say, hey, we have this action sequence, which if we put it into fast motion, you're not going to understand too much of what's going on. So we're going to have it being normal motion for a lot of it, but for the right moments, we're going to just slow it down so that way you can understand the geography of the scene. A geography of an action scene is the most important part. I feel like a lot of movies forget that. I'm glad Wonder Woman did that. The side characters that come along the journey with Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor, they're really cool. The action sequences themselves are incredible, especially, and this is going to be a point of praise for pretty much everyone who sees this movie, the No Man's Land sequence is just beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful in every sense of the word. The moment when she climbs up those stairs, you see this in the trailer, and it's so much more in the movie. The moment she does that, you finally see the costume. And yes, okay, there's posters and all that kind of stuff that show the costume, but the movie does keep it away. It lets it kind of be this hinting thing, and then finally when you see it in all its glory, holy shit, that is one of the most inspiring, most beautiful, most perfect sequences I've ever seen in the history of superhero movies. It was bringing tears to my eyes. I loved that entire sequence. Everywhere that it goes from the trenches, then into this town, through buildings, into a church. It does all this stuff, and it's a fantastic sequence. But like I said, Wonder Woman is not perfect. I feel like it does suffer in the third act. There is a twist as to who the villain really is, and while I really enjoyed that twist, and once it started to get on with it, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But then it kept going, and then you saw what Ares fully looked like with all of his villain outfit stuff, and I didn't like that. It was fine. It was fine for what it was, but it felt like something that was out of a kind of middle grade superhero movie instead of what this movie should have been, which is a great superhero movie. And a lot of people think it is great, and that's okay. I think it was really good, but I feel like what the villain was and how the third act was shot sometimes, a bit of the action just felt a little too much like Batman v Superman or Man of Steel looking kind of stuff, which is serviceable enough. The movie beforehand was so strong that it does make that third act just watchable. But I feel like it could have just been a little bit better. The story is still there, the emotion is still there, the characters are still strong in that sequence, and you still do feel the inspiration that this character gives. That is the biggest positive I can give for Wonder Woman, is that it is inspiring through all 140 minutes of its runtime. This movie is quite incredible in a lot of ways. It does have its flaws, it isn't perfect, but that's fine because it still is absolutely extraordinary in so many ways. The characters just are so well designed and so well developed. This movie knows exactly what it's meant to do. It's meant to get you totally on board with the Wonder Woman character, and it does that. It is definitely, by far, the best DCEU movie. Wonder Woman is such a good superhero movie. You feel the power, you feel the grace, you feel the wisdom, you feel the wonder, and I'd have to say that Wonder Woman is definitely worth the tickets and the Blu-ray. So Wonder Woman, have you seen it? Please tell me what you think about it in the comments below. There are going to be videos linked down there or one over there. For more Mr. Movies, please press my little face right there. Thanks for watching.